Good morning, excuse me, good afternoon. Today is November 3rd, 2023. The time is 2:02 p.m. and this is the duly called meeting of the Texas Low-Level Radioactive Waste Disposal Compact Commission. We are here in the commission's offices in our boardroom, and most of you are online, so we appreciate you joining us. For those of you in the audience today online, we'll remind you that if at any time today you want to speak, simply use the raise hand function. You hover in the lower part of your screen. There is an option that allows you to raise your hand. We will have a public comment period, and we'll also have two very short agenda items. But if you want to comment on any of them, please just use the raise your hand function. Obviously, we have a limited number of people in the conference room, so we will deal with them as they want to speak as well. Like I said, today is going to be very short. We just had a single item. We needed to have this meeting to pass out an amendment for someone who needed to get quickly. We will do that. But before we do that, let me make sure we have a quorum. I see Vice Chairman Salzman, Commissioner Morris, Commissioner Mundy, Commissioner Nyack, Commissioner Bradford. I know we are waiting on Commissioner Edwards, who is dealing with technical issues, but even without her, we do have a quorum so we can proceed. I noticed in our audience, online audience, we have several of our friends from TCQ. We have our old friend Amy Robinson, and if you haven't done so yet, you should get on LinkedIn and see the very cool interview that her new employer did with her. There's a video that is posted online. I watched that, and it was very cool. Made me proud to know Amy. There are several other of you. We see some people from our sister compacts. Ron Gaynor, we appreciate you attending. And as always, our low-level forum Executive Director, Dan Schrum, we appreciate him being here. So thank you all for participating. I don't think we'll be very long today, but it's a good way to end up the week. Oh, and I would also like to introduce everybody. As you can see, we have been assigned a new person from the Attorney General's office because Melissa Juarez has been promoted. So we're very happy for Melissa, but we also would like to welcome Rosalind Hunt. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope we're not too much of a problem, but we do tend to cause a few issues now and again, so I'm sure you will with us. But we appreciate you attending, and we look forward to working with you. So thank you very much for being here. So with that, we've noted our quorum. We have introduced our commissioners. I see people are here from Commissioner Janeka's office, so we appreciate you being here. I don't believe there's any other elected officials. Is there anyone in the audience from the press? If so, I'd just like to introduce you. I don't believe there is, but okay. So with that, we can move on to item 4 on our agenda, which is public comment period. As I said, no matter what our meeting is about, we always like to have a public comment period to give people the opportunity to address us if they so choose. Is there anyone here or online that would like to make a public comment? And again, if you're online, please indicate so by raising your hand. Seeing none, I think we can move on then to our primary agenda item. This is item 5 on our agenda, and it is amendments. Again, the reason we're doing the amendment for DTE Fermi is there was a typographical error in the original application, and they had a pressing need to shift. So we're having this special meeting to pass this amendment. So the one and only amendment on the agenda is DTE Fermi 2 power plant. And I will turn it over to the Vice Chairman for the committee reports.
Let me log back in.
John, you're still on mute.
And yep, let me do this and I'll plug in.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Can you reset it to her?
Good afternoon. The technical committee has received and reviewed an import amendment request from DTE Fermi 2. It was received September 25, 2023, and it's number 1-0406-01. And in this amendment request, Fermi has asked for an additional 18,000 curies of radioactivity So that increase, they had originally asked for 2,000. That increase would put them to a total of 20,000 carries. And so since the increase would take them above the 15,000 carry threshold, we would have to treat this amendment request under the contingent carry program. So the DTE has not asked for any other changes, and though it wasn't officially required, TCEQ did approve this change via letter correspondence to WCS dated October 13, 2023. So again, DTE has requested an increase of 18,000 carries. No other changes were requested. The technical committee recommends approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And so, John, I think I heard you say this, but this would now qualify under our contingent security program, correct?
That is correct.
It is irradiated hardware?
I believe that is correct. Give me 1 second, and I can answer that definitively. Yes, it is irradiated hardware.
Any other questions for the technical committee? Seeing no hands raised, we can move on to a motion.
I make a motion to approve the amendment request from DTE Fermi. That request would be to add 18,000 curies of radioactivity. And again, these curies would be considered under the contingent curie program. So DTE will have to notify our administration shortly in advance of any requested shipments for approval.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion about item 5 on our agenda, the amendment request of DTE Fermi 2 power plants? Any public comment on the requested amendment? Hearing none, I think we can move on to a vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the amendment of DTE Fermi 2 power plant reflected in item 5 on our agenda, please indicate so by saying aye.
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 All opposed? All opposed, no.
Lisa.
We'll note that Commissioner Edwards just joined. Commissioner Edwards, we just voted on the amendment. So the motion passed. Commissioner, with that, we're up to item 6 on our agenda, which is the small business study for proposed management. I wanted to update everyone on this because I think this will be heavily discussed in December, and hopefully we will have things to look at and possibly even vote on. To kind of bring everybody back up to speed, we published the rule. There were some objections put out there, one of which we found to be valid, which was we needed a small business study as part of the preamble to the rule to make a determination of what impact, if any, the rule would have on small businesses. Obviously, we want that study to be objective and independent, so we hired an independent third party. Yes. Michael Cleve, who is well known in our industry, to do that study, part of his work. We've interacted with him a few times. We've gotten familiar with the rule, gotten familiar with the old rule. He is an industry veteran enough that he understood exactly what the issues were. He issued a open records request to TCEQ to see what information some of the regulated parties were already providing TCEQ. In response to that, there was some objections about producing any documents. We are currently in the opinion division of the Attorney General on open records based on the objections filed by WCS as to that open records request. So, they have briefed it, Mr. Cleve has sent in what I think is a clarifying response to what he is seeking, and we are still waiting to see what the outcome of that will be. We have talked to Michael and developed a plan, as to what happens next. He will continue to do his research and investigation, and ultimately, he will issue us a report that provides, for lack of a better phrase, a professional opinion that as to what the impact may be on small businesses through the enforcement of the new proposed management. We think that is a precursor to proceeding to the republication of the rules. In the interim, also, Chairman Morris, as the chairman of our rules committee, has been doing some slight revisions. She has been talking to people about it, in particular, Vice Chairman Sullivan, and I think she will continue to do that. We will have an opportunity for stakeholders to also, once again, comment on whatever the new version of the rule is. Informally, we will go through the APA process again, which, as everyone remembers, includes a publication and a formal comment period. And then after that informal or that formal comment period, then it will be right for adoption by us as the commission. I say all that to get everybody up to speed, so maybe when we come back in December and hopefully have a report from Mr. Cleve and some other information, we can we can move with all due haste, because I know this has been a long train running, and I'm sure that Commissioner Morris will second that feeling very much so. Oh, I'm sorry, and Rick Jacoby just posted in the comment section that Mr. Cleve also sent a FOIA, an open records request to Dishes regarding records for NSSI in Houston, and Dishes actually responded with some materials. So thank you, Rick, for getting us up to date on that. So as we work through it, I wanted to make sure that I updated everyone so we could, you know, if anyone has any questions about it at this point, we want to make sure we have that discussion. Also, we want to make sure everybody's updated, so in case they have any thoughts, opinions, suggestions, whatever the case may be, we wanted to make sure that they were able to voice those in today's meeting to give us as much of a head start for our December meeting as possible. So with that, is there any questions, comments? Oh, also, Commissioner Fodder is doing this.
And I want to clarify, there's not an opinion coming from the Attorney General's office. There's a question about a ruling about whether something is accepted.
Yes, I'm sorry.
When the press was made, so it will be a ruling from the Attorney General's office.
And for anyone who isn't familiar with that process, whenever there's an objection to make an open records request, it goes to a specific division of the Attorney General's office, who then makes a ruling on that. It then guides the parties on how the open records request will be answered. Any questions, concerns, comments? Okay. Obviously, if you have any questions about the process or any thoughts or ideas, please direct them to Stephen or Megan, as they will obviously coordinate everything on that. As I always say, and I'll say it again, thank you to Commissioner Morris and everyone on the Rules Committee. This is a task that they think is like a ball of yarn that continues forever, because there's always another rule and there's always more work to be done. So we appreciate all of it. I don't think it's on the agenda, but since I just mentioned next meetings, in your packet, you will notice that there is the list of the next two meetings at least. The next meeting is December 14th, which will again be here in Austin. I know that's getting somewhat close to Christmas. I didn't know if that posed a problem for anyone. So I wanted to make sure everybody saw that date, and if there was any concern about that date. Usually that meeting is one that we had skipped in the past, but based on the management rule, we probably would definitely want to meet unless something happens where we're not ready to talk about the management rule. I think we should plan on December 14th being the current date in Austin. Obviously it'll be available online as well as we're doing today. Then after that, we take a holiday break and come back to February, on February 22nd here in Austin. And then the next still on the road day is May 9th, which is when we will be in the South Texas project and get to tour that facility and have our meeting there. So that is the next 3 meetings. I want to make sure, especially with the holiday date, if anyone has, we're flexible on that. So if we need to move that up, or we always meet on Thursdays, but we don't have to. If for some reason that's the date of somebody's holiday party or you know, if they have family in town or something, we can move that date within that week or even the week before, or I guess even arguably the week after. Oh, that's getting really close to Christmas. So I just wanted to put that on everybody's radar. So does anybody have any questions about future meeting dates?
You have a few items on the list for the
Oh, well, we will have some business too, beyond this. Let me make sure. So with that, as I said, we have a very short agenda today. We are through our agenda. We are to item 7, which is our adjournment. But before I know this has been incredibly rushed, so I want to give everybody one last chance. Is there any questions about any of the items we covered today or future meetings? Okay, well then, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please indicate so by saying aye.
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 All opposed, no. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. We hope to see you all back, maybe in person on December 14th.
First meeting ever.